What's good, YouTube? We back for another video, man. And today, hold on, let me make sure y'all can see me. All right. And today, man, I'm gonna be talking about, honestly, as of what I'm doing right now, I'm meal prepping, man. You know what I mean? I was gonna meal prep, but I decided, you know what? I'm gonna make a video while I'm meal prepping. Right? I got some lean ground beef. Right? You know what I mean? That the 90-10 or 93-7, right? Hopefully y'all can see it. So I'm meal prepping this shit, right? So y'all gonna be hearing me talk while I meal prep this shit, cause fuck it, right? You know, want to do something to pass the time. So if y'all, I'm hopefully y'all can see me, right? There's gonna be some times where I'm gonna be out the frame, but that's because I'm but one thing that I've realized when it comes to life is that everybody always says comparison is the thief of joy, right? Because when you compare yourself, when you compare yourself to other people, it makes you feel like you're not doing enough, or you might be doing way more, right? Like both majority of people base their success off of other people. They don't base it off of their individual progress, right? And I kind of had this thought earlier today because I went to the gym today, did my little set, normal, did my little workouts. And I seen people, this is like nothing new, but of course I'm going to see people that are bigger than me, that are way stronger than me, that are jacked, and I'm not offended by it. Like, it doesn't offend me, but it just had me thinking like, man, I got to lock in, right? Seen a dude in there. He was doing some, he was on the bag. He was doing some bag work. It looked like he was doing some Muay Thai, right? And it made me feel like I got to catch up, man, right? Because you got people out here, that actually know how to freaking fight and know how to defend themselves. Whole time I just know how to box. You got people that know how to, do everything. And it does make me feel like I'm behind. Because especially when I see people in the gym locking in, going crazy, right? And then I just look at myself. It does make me feel like I'm behind. Now I know everybody tells you, you shouldn't compare yourself to other people, but actually you should. I'm gonna be the one to tell you that you should. The reason why I say that is because when you look at other people's success and you see that they're doing better than you, it should push you to want to do better yourself, right? Because it gives you that sense of urgency that you need to lock the fuck in, right? When you see somebody that is more jacked than you, or somebody that is making way more money than you, it should motivate you. I don't like using the word motivation, but it should push you to lock in, and I feel like you need to compare yourself to other people. And I know, like I said, people, I know, this is crazy, right? I'm majority of the time, I'm gonna tell you the opposite of what everybody else tells you. I feel like you should, right? Because the reason why, if you don't, you're not gonna feel like you need to do better. Sometimes you need to look at other people, right? Because you might be comfortable where you at, right? You might be comfortable, not really having an average physique. You might be comfortable, making a little bit of money, because you're not around people that are actually more successful, that are actually doing better than you. So that's why you're comfortable. That's why I want to move to Texas. Hopefully maybe, Houston or Dallas or something like that, one of the big cities, because that's the main reason why. Because I want to be around people that are doing better than me, right? I want to compare I want my progress to be comparable to people that are doing better than me, right? So it's like it's not necessarily a bad thing to compare yourself to other people, right? Where it goes wrong is that people kind of take it too far. And for example, right, you could you could have a good physique, but you look at other people's physiques on social media, right? You know, usually social media is what does it, right? I don't think people get body dysmorphia from people in real life, because in real life, if you go to the gym, you look at people in real life, they're not as big or jacked as they look on social media. See, on social media, you can literally make yourself with the right lighting, with a good pump, you can literally make yourself look freaking crazy. But if you look at people in real life, they look normal. I mean, I look at people in the gym all the time, right? They don't look crazy. Of course, if they do, then it might be something we don't know about, right? But majority of people in my gym don't. How can I explain it? They don't have the social media look to them. They look, as I would expect them to look, right? But social media makes it seem like these dudes are literally, like, you have dudes on social media that literally, I don't know. I can't explain it, right? But social media has poisoned the fitness industry, because that's where this body dysmorphia comes from, right? Because people base their progress off of fitness influence, off of social media. I feel like, what about, we should do that in real life? Actually, you should do that in real life. You should look at yourself in the mirror, and then look at other people and see where you are, right? If they're a lot bigger than you, then if there's somebody that's a lot bigger than you, like, I mean, a lot bigger, like, it's noticeably, they're probably on something. But majority of people, you're gonna probably be around the same size, right? So social media is what brainwashes people, because they feel like, that they see all these aesthetic jack people on social media, which is like the top 1%, apparently. It makes them feel like, oh my God, like, I need to get bigger. And that's what makes people take steroids. For real. Like, people spend more time looking at fitness influencers on social media. Why don't you actually just take a look at the people in your gym, right? Stop, like, looking on social media so much. See, I'll actually look at the people in my gym, and there's people that have average physiques, that are in current progress. I'm one of them. Then there's people that you can clearly tell they've been putting in that work for a few years, and they actually have a good, decent physique, but it's nothing crazy, right? But they have a good, decent physique, right? Like, I that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand, right? So you have to really get this out your head, right? But off of the fitness stuff, right? But actually, like I'm gonna tell y'all this again. You should compare yourself to other people. In fact, you should be pissed off that you're not as successful as other people, right? Or you're not as jacked as other people. It should make you pissed off. Every time I see somebody doing better than me, I get pissed off. Not at them, but at myself, because I know that I can do more. It's not like it's that burning ambition that I have. It's not like out of jealousy, but it just goes to show that, okay, Sean, you need to lock the fuck in, bro. You got people your age already jacked, already making millions, bro. Like, come on, man. Lock the fuck in, right? Now, like I said, don't get what I'm saying mixed up, right? Cause see, the thing is that this is what it is, right? A lot of people look at other people's success on social media, and instead of them, they have the same reaction, right? Like, you know, they're kind of, you know, pissed off. They're like, oh, I wish I was. But the problem, what they don't do is they don't actually take action. They just kind of look at it and sulk. See, when you look at somebody doing better to you, you're gonna have the same reaction as everybody else. You're gonna feel like you're gonna be like, man, I wish I was him, right? Or I wish I was like him. I wish I was as jacked as him. I wish I was making more money as him. We all have the same reaction, but where you split is where you can either actually use that as and I don't like to say motivation, Jesus, but I guess motivation to lock in, use that as your push to lock in, or you could be person number B and just cry about it, right? Like, be like, you know, you could be like, oh man, I wish I was like him, right? But at the same time, you're not doing nothing about it, right? You see somebody on social media or in real life that is jacked, that's making more money to you, and you're not gonna do nothing about it. You're just gonna be pissed off at the world because you're not at that level. So the reaction to somebody doing better to you is the same, but it depends on if you're gonna take action or not, right? You know what I mean? So I think it's a good thing, you know, to have people doing better to you. I like that. Because if you're not around people that are doing better to you, you're not going to want to become better yourself. That's why majority of the time it's best to move. And that's why I say I want to move, because I want to be around people that are doing better than me. Right? Because what it's going to do is going to force me to want to do better too. Because think about it, right? When I moved to a big city like Dallas, Houston, in Texas, or let's say if I were to go to Miami, in Florida, Atlanta, I'm gonna be around a lot of people in real life, not just on social media. See, social media is one thing, but actually seeing a successful person in real life those are two different things. Because social media, you could fake being lifestyle, but when you actually see somebody in person that actually has all the things that you want, that actually has that supercar, that actually is an actual millionaire, that's actually jacked, bro, it does something to you, bro. Right? You're gonna be around so many successful people. So you mean to tell me that you're gonna live in Miami and be average? That's not possible. It physically is not even possible. It physically is not possible. Because everybody, even the women, are going to be doing way better than you. That's why they're in that big city in the first place. So it's like if you're just an average Joe living in a big city where everybody's doing better than you, then you're literally going to be an outcast. Nobody's going to take you serious. You're not going to have a good life. You know what I mean? That's why moving to a big city is good. Every time I hear somebody say they moved to a big city, they literally became successful. I think moving is a big part of becoming successful. Because sometimes, and I've already made a video about this, but majority of the times, it could literally be your location holding you back. Because you're around average people. And I feel like I'm in that same category too. I'm not around enough successful people. Right? I'm not around enough successful people. Majority of people are kind of just... My fault, y'all. My dog. But majority of people here are just average. You know what I mean? There's nobody that... I mean, you think I could just go outside my crib and find a millionaire? No. No. You think I could go outside and just see a freaking Lamborghini or a McLaren or a Ferrari, Lotus? Man, I know all the super and hyper cars, bro. You think I'm just gonna just go outside and find those type of cars? No. You know what I mean? But go to Miami, go to Cali, go to Atlanta. Oh yeah, I bet when you go outside, you definitely gonna see a lot of exotic cars. And see, when you're around that, it does two things. First, it lets you know that it's possible, because some people think that becoming successful, making it, isn't possible. And sometimes you have to see it in real life to believe it. See, social media can play people. You can play tricks on you, right? People can fake a lifestyle, but you're not really gonna believe it. You know what I mean? But see, when you see it in real life, when you see somebody with that same car in real life, that same Airbnb in real life, you can't say that it's made up, it's fake, because you're seeing it right in your face. So it goes to show you that it's possible. And then on top of that, like I said, you're gonna have that belief where, okay, man, I need to lock in, right? Because now that you know that it's possible, you're gonna feel like, okay, man, I gotta lock in, man. I gotta get right. So it's actually good, in my opinion, to be in a location where people are doing better. I've already made a video about this. But basically what I'm trying to say is that you should compare yourself to other people. Right? And if you're not around anybody in real life that is successful, then it's a good time to move, right? But even on social media, right? The only reason why people would say comparison is the thief of joy is because people compare themselves to other people and they have the same reaction. You know, they might get pissed off, or they might feel like, man, I wish I was them. But they don't want to do nothing about it. They don't want to do nothing about it. They don't want to use that as fuel to lock in. They just feel like it's over for them, right? You know, because, bro, you see somebody on social media that has a jacked physique, and you think that you can't get a jacked physique as well. No, you're not gonna look like him, but you can still get a jacked physique too. You know what I mean? But then again, like I said, social media has unrealistic expectations and standards, right? See, the thing about it is that people's talking about 315 is the new standard, bro. On social media, everybody, like according to the social media world, everybody on social media can bench 315. But how many people in your local gym that you go to can actually bench 315? How many? How many? Right? Stop looking at social media, right? Social media handpicks specific people to go viral. You gotta understand. Not everybody on social media is gonna get their content pushed. So you're only gonna see the top people, the top fitness influencers, the top millionaires, the top billionaires. So of course it's gonna seem like that everybody in the world can bench 315. But when I go to my gym, I don't see that often. Now, I did see one person bench 315. Actually, I saw a person bench 315 today, right? I'm pretty sure it was his PR. He even recorded it. But not everybody in my gym can bench 315. What the heck? I don't even see that many people benching 225. And I'm being completely honest with you. I don't see that many people in my gym bench 225. So how the heck is 315 a new standard? Yeah. Go around the gym, ask the biggest people in your gym. Or no, not the biggest people. Ask everybody in the gym. Get, all the dudes and see how many can actually bench 315. And if all the dudes in the gym can bench 315, or 80% of them, then 315 could be the new standard. But other than that, it's not. Like, I know I'm just venting right now, but y'all gotta understand, man. social media has warped our perception of real life, of what's actually achievable in real life. Like, I swear to God. And I realized that today, bro. Dead ass. Because it's like like I said, I saw a dude literally hit 315 for a PR, right? But bro, now yesterday I was at the gym as well yesterday, and I saw somebody try to attempt a 405, and he almost got it up, right? But you know, it made sense for him to be able to hit 405 because he was like he was basically like, how can I put it? Jesus. Mass moves mass. He had a lot of mass on him. And it was more so fat than muscle. He was probably like maybe over he was probably like 250, 260 at most. I don't know. I'm not trying to call this dude fat or nothing like that. But, you know, the mass move mass, it is kind of true because, you know, it kind of made sense, right? But, like I said, man, I don't know what people, like, the 100-pound dumbbells at your gym? I don't see a lot of people touch them. I rarely see people dumbbell press 100s, right? Currently, I'm at the 65s, right? I'm hoping to aim to be at the 70s next month, right? I'm getting there, right? But majority of the time, I see people DB press around 70s, 80s, sometimes 90s, but 100s, no. 120s, no. I mean, yeah, I'm in a commercial gym, but that's the thing. Commercial gym is gonna have majority of the time average people. I ain't gonna say average people, but not people that are not like, so I don't know, man. Social media has just warped our reality. But anyway, man, I'm gonna end this video right here because I'm kind of just rambling. But basically, end it all off, man. Make sure that you actually need to compare yourself to other people. Okay? Because if you ever feel like you're not doing good enough, then that means that you need to lock in. Don't sit here and just get mad about it. Lock in. You see somebody doing better than you, okay, that means that you need to do better as well. If you see somebody more jacked than you, bro, that means that you need to step it up too, right? All this being depressed and stuff like that, bro, lock in. Looking at them, they should be a goal. They should be a perfect representation of what you can be. Because we're all the same. We're all human beings, right? The people that you see in your gym that are jacked, they weren't always that way. They were probably either skinny as hell at one point or they were overweight, right? They didn't get there overnight. So literally they should be the basis of what you can achieve. So comparison is the thief of joy, but you actually do need to compare yourself to other people. You know, because you need to see where you fall under. Money-wise, physique-wise, looks-wise, you do. You know? But understand that don't let that take away from your own personal progress, though. As long as you're doing good, that's good. But sometimes you have to evaluate yourself. You know, sometimes you might need to compare yourself to people that's doing better than you. Like, okay, like, hey, I need to get like him. Right? You're not going to be exactly like him, but he should be like a motivation for you or a push for you. You know what I mean? Hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. And yeah, see you on the next one. Peace.